Hey everybody, man, check it out. This is the breakdown of today's trades. If you caught it on YouTube, man, cool. I'm glad you were hanging out with me or on Facebook. It's all good, man. All right, so I'm thinking about just doing the Zoom with you all coming back after next week. I'm going to take a break off next week. So we'll see what happens when we come back. All right, here is the trades from today. Of course, I opened the stream at 7 o'clock, and that would be here. And we saw a breakout, a break of structure print in the channel right after we drew our 12-hour channel, the Maniac channel, right? We drew that channel, and price exited that channel. That would have been a potential place to buy, but because I was still getting set up, opening up different pairs, I opened up Euro, opened up GJ, opened up Bitcoin, and started to kind of look at those and give a chart analysis. And while I did that, I saw that Bitcoin had at 7:30 made a huge drop at 7:30, which had I been looking at US 30, which is just another reminder, man, don't be messing with them other pairs. Don't even look at it. But I did, because some of us are trying to trade those. But during the stream, I'm probably not going to do that anymore. I'll look at it afterwards. And man, so there was a potential entry for a break of structure at 7:22. News had broke at 7:30. It was high impact news that I hadn't opened up the news yet. I hadn't even opened it up yet, and so I didn't even know it was going on. But I saw Bitcoin dip and start to fall, so I opened up US 30, and I saw that probably right around, well, by the time I saw it, it was already exit of the channel. So here was a potential exit of our on the break down and the break out beneath our channel for a sell. Well, I saw that movement to the downside, and I said, well, I got to get in that. So enticement, inducement, seduction, all of that. I fell victim to that. I got to come clean. And initially, my stop loss on this entry was 50. And when I saw price was about to hit that stop loss, I thought, man, this news is too much impact for it to stop there. So I increased my stop loss to a 1.5% or 1.3%. And yeah, because 2% would be 100. So 1.3%, right, would be 75 points, and almost got stopped out there, man. So I said to myself, as price started to continue to melt and continue to go down, I said, if price gets into profit, I'm just going to take myself out. And it does get into profit. And when I hit exit my trade, MetaTrader kind of froze up on me and took me out still negative $20. So I was like, you know what? I deserve that, because this entry was not a part of my rules. Number one, you don't trade rules. Number one, you don't trade news. Right. So that was that. And then I started to see the retracement. I started to think, well, price could potentially turn around here if we give a break of structure to the upside. So I took the break of structure entry, right, to the upside, and got a 51 point just to kind of make room for this low here. But price quickly took me out on that deal. So it was like, no, we are not done going down. So at that point, it was just, okay, stop what you're doing, let price print. You can go back and see from the hours of 8 o'clock until almost 8:30 what I talked about. I mean, I don't even know what I talked about, but it was good, whatever it was. And so, man, so price came, and I reevaluated where I had my golden zone, and I drew it from a higher time frame, and I end up having a golden zone area in this range down here in the yellow. So when price came and touched that to the decimal, I said, I'm looking for a bounce up, and I'm looking for a break of structure on the 1 minute to potentially enter and look to take it all the way up to the channel, to the 12-hour channel. So once we got that 12-hour channel, the reason why I even felt more confident in it was because when I noticed this wick that was left off of the bounce to the golden zone, I said, man, that's a point of interest. So that's something we need to keep in mind. Point of interest. Um, so price comes and touches the point of interest here, gives us the break of structure. Then it comes and touches the point of interest not once but twice and leaves a big wick here, which turned into a bullish order block, which sends us into the stratosphere. So the first initial target for me was to see it break above this pivot point and close above the pivot point, which then I said, okay, then I'm going to target the top of the bearish order block, okay, on the 1 minute. So once it reached that target, I really started to deploy massive amounts of discipline to watch the LMI, and the LMI staying green all the way until it touched the bottom of the 12-hour channel, which it does do here, like a little bit after 9 o'clock. And I was waiting for that 9 o'clock to happen. Okay, I wanted to see something happen at 9 o'clock, and so between the hours of 9 o'clock and 9:30, typically you're going to see something happen, right? Something is going to happen. I don't know when or how or what it looks like, but I know something happened. So once it closed above the channel, it was safe for me to say, now I can target this next pivot point, and once it closes above that pivot point, I will target then a higher range, which in this case would have been the top of this bearish order block here, and potentially this dotted line, which is the close of this higher price range candle. Okay, so with that said, I ended up taking out, I got out of this trade right at 187 points on one of my entries, and then we saw a retracement. And I never do this on YouTube, but I said if I was going to retrace and just kind of scalp kind of thing, I would look for a break of structure and stay in it only briefly. Number one, we're exiting a bearish order block, what gives us confluence and confidence that price would want to retrace and gain some not momentum, but mitigate some imbalances that were left on the lower time frames. All right, so once it did start to mitigate those lower time frame imbalances, we saw it range, and then we saw a broke of structure, which then I said, man, bring your stop loss into profit so that you could take profit, hit the stop loss in profit. And then I said, I think I ended the stream right around there, and I said price could potentially come and give us a new high. So I think then it gave us a new high, right? It gave us a new high, and it would staircase its way up. And I then think, yeah, so now we're current. So if you were holding this trade, right, and continuing to look at the LMI, one of the things I noticed on some of the past entries is if you look at this screen here, this is the 15-minute time frame, but the LMI is nowhere near close to turning red. But if you look at 30-minute, it's even like, yeah, it's like about to turn green. So these rejection wicks to the top kind of tell me that price and the sellers are really involved in this market. And so now, even as we're making this video, you're seeing a sell-off really to just kind of liquidate all of these buyers here, really to take them out, all the buyers that said, okay, I see this break of structure, I'm going to get into a buy. Number one, because they are probably feeling the FOMO of missing out on the initial push that happened at 8:30. All right, so all that said, those were the trades that we took. We had I would consider that first one a loss, even though it did go into profit. But technically, the entry was a good entry, but the stop loss being adjusted was a good stop loss. But if you want to count that, go ahead. I'm gonna count it as a loss. So 2 loss, 2 loss, and 2 wins for the day. And the day is not over. The day has actually just, we got a couple of big moves and we capitalized on it. So 1 to 2.6 on the 8:30 830 entry, and a 1 to 1.7 on the scalp. So, man, two good trades. If you want to count this, if you want to count it as a win, if you took it and held it, then it could have potentially been a 1 to 2, and this was definitely a 1% loss. So, all right. So with that being said, that's the breakdown. I'm so glad y'all are checking it out. I want to know if you're learning anything, if it's making any sense. If you have any questions, let me know. See you in the next video. See ya. Peace.